everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. Four touchdowns, one pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to limit the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Rush in!
Here's Carson, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
And we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he finds Stills, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Check. Watch the
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
They cannot.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Mike 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So here are the 49ers now with a long field ahead. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
A check on Breida's numbers from last week. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over this week as well.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's what I'm talking about.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the conversion.
And it's caught.
Wilson's pass.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
First and goal, Seattle.
Mike 6.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but it'll be second and goal. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the one on second and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is third and goal.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Here's Wilson to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. DeForest Buckner. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? They didn't kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm coming.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. 2 seconds to go, first quarter. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's first and 10 at the 26-yard line. On first down, here's Freedom. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's third and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a third and 3. Flush to his right. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't get in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers. But they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. And a tackle there by Quan Alexander.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go, boys.
27 yards there, a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen. They turned into a really nice play.
Now it's Carson. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Stills had it, but couldn't hang on. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Let's go.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They have a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary didn't really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Back him up, back him up.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
That's how we do it. Get out here. That's how we do it.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. This is Carson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
54, Mike, 54. Come to my world. Hey, alert. Right.
And again this time the tailback. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. That one good for 26 and a first down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
It's Williams on the catch. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Mike 56,
Mike 56. 32 that time. This is Breida. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to give in to Brothers' thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This one from 46 yards out. And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal. Not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Rams who have the lead in the second quarter. Todd Gurley has a touchdown run. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Allen Robinson, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Jacoby Brissett, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half,
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards. Well, this game's ripe for the taking, and that run, I think it means he wants to take it.
Not only does he want to take it, he doesn't care what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball. You can be prepared for him. He's coming at you anyway.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal.
Ready. 30 base. Minus 56.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take it with.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Here comes the boom.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy, couldn't get in. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Matt Breida, touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. It's complete, Stills. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4th.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you. Kill.
They run again with Breida. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the screen.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Sunday's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Back to throw now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On play action, they'll throw. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Breida. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 36.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up third.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Right there.
The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. That's complete. It's Gordon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1. Completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, first down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them only.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, four in a game.
Yeah, about four in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Second and 1. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play out of it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a footer so short.
They tried their best to pick up that third and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
All day, baby, let's go! Let's go!
After review of the play,
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
He wasn't ready!
The play action fake, they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding it.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield.
Let's go! Let's do this!
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, couldn't take it away. The throw over the middle taken in and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. That one looks like he'll throw here. Man open, it's Goodwin. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
So Wilson and the Seahawks down 20-10, 30 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
280. 50 seconds to Mike.
Crunch time, defense.
Hey.
Here's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson.
You ain't doing nothing today.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. This one caught by Crowder.
Wilson's pass.
Let's go.
Complete to Jamison Crowder.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Tajay Sharp, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So the victory here for San Francisco, and you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the 49ers, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, their score.
Coach, you're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and...
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C. That's where the home of the Washington Redskins resides, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers, and he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line, and the Washington Redskins. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Haskins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
The pass on 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this will pin them back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in.
Man. What are you doing?
A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 21 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there.
Here we go.
They also understand
Here we go.
that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They're going to look to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Matthew Ioannidis in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
They run with Breida. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. They'll set up a throw. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll set up to throw. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy and start into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
On first down, Dunlap. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Number 44 on the carry.
A good run on first down, followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Come on,
a nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
On the double. 54, right there. 54, Mike. You're trash.
They'll run on first down. Dunlap. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Come off the ball hard. He's coming.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 40.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop him for a loss of 4. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Haskins is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Completes it to Aguilar. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for them, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So line of scrimmage still a 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Able to get this to Gordon. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
Check 24. Check 24.
1st down, San Francisco.
Now it's Breida. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Ricky.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
You see me? You see me? They can't
has
stop
now
me out
recorded
here.
10 sacks on the season. Now the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. Get slap happy up here sometimes. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they have a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this run?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2nd and 15. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
Now back to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Complete to Josh Gordon.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Now we'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Get ready. Right there. 54, right there, right there. 54, Mike. Watch the screen.
Back to throw.
Watch the screen.
And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
I got you. Ready, go. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Back to throw here. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And it's the Browns who have the lead in the second quarter. Jarvis Landry, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we head down to the desert. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Andy Isabella, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. 21-10, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half?
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Back onto the field comes his offense, led by George Kittle. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to put...
He's got daylight. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, 78 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
They got your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. On first down, Dunlap. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
56.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dunlap. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Let's go, baby.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll run on first down. Dunlap, absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go. 56, right there, 56.
At the 36.
Get that one.
Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. And this one complete to Reed. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Kill, turn up.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now a give running left is Breida. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
58 to Mike, 58.
Now a give to Breida. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the 49ers have now taken the lead. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic, a lot of fun to watch.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now it's Haskins, and he finds the tight end, Reed. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Slam.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's got Smith here. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go!
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves. And they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
Right, 58, right there.
This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. And it looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Check the out, check the out.
2nd and 2. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Breida. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got it.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he's got this down to the 35. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Who that?
Dropped it through. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 20-yard line.
Could just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, man up, D, man up.
They're going to look to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now a toss play, it's Breida, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
That's the way you make it spin. That's the way you make it spin, baby.
His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10.
Makes the score Niners 21.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, The teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. 2nd down, Haskins. Out to the left here to Reed. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Keep playing hard, fellas.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player?
Check 56.
How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Right there, 54 Mike. Yeah.
Now a give coming right is Breida. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And down inside the 15 he goes. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Able to get this to Gordon. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff left side to Breida. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
Keep getting those touchdowns.
Matt Breida. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 2nd and 10, Haskins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Here's Haskins to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Haskins, pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
I'm going to run you over.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now Haskins to throw it.
We got three.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. Complete. Smith has it. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 21. So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for San Francisco, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers.
That's it, baby.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Tate. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge. And that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
This is taken at about the 14. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
A gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Let's go.
Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, the big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First down, San Francisco, the pickup, 14 yards. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
That's complete. It's Gordon. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
54 Mike.
They're not ready for this, man.
They'll try to run with Breida, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Right there.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Slot.
Second and 5.
22, twice on 22.
Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Looks good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That time a 9-play drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC, and with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Come on, now. Let's go.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Screenplay, Johnson.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6.
Mike 54.
Arizona.
Watch the slant.
On 1st and 10, Tate. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line, as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. DeForest Buckner in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001.
Come on, D.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense, how will they play you in certain situations. Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Let's go, baby.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 4. And he fires one incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Back to throw here. Gets it to Gordon. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 28.
Mike 3. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
And they give this time to the tailback. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Now, this is an example of breaking down in defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Combo.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Flushed out right. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch the safety creep.
They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line.
That's what I'm talking
It's a
about.
loss of 2, now 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go,
To throw again, Tate. This one caught by Isabella. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw. Tate, his throw incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and now it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Tate, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Tate dumping it off for Johnson. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the visiting Bills who were able to come away with the victory on the road. Josh Allen, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Next, we'll stay in the AFC North as we head to Heinz Field to check on the Steelers. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. 13-10, the final score. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. Baker Mayfield, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the 49ers out in front, and we'll get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead, and they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Here we go.
13 yards there and a Niner first.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first first score, that doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Looking to throw on second down. Tate.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
To throw on third down. Tate. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10 on a 49er first down. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Here I come again.
That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Come on, fellas.
First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some muscle on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Combo.
Here we go. Here we go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7?
Let's go,
They got
baby.
closer
Let's
to
go.
the goal line. Things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be the call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. So let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go with Johnson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From the gun, Tate. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Joker, 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 Joker.
Looking to throw. Tate. And his throw here's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run with Johnson, and he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
That ball complete to Isabella. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Cardinal passing game dialed in now. First down.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
Don't get nervous.
Set, hut.
Operating from the gun. Tate. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And now look at him go. He's at the 30, past the 20, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Quick 6, that's what they call us.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing after the interception. Tate. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack lunch, baby! Yum, 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 yum.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. Right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have a production means they don't want to be in third and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Sometimes it's design, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run and is still accurate throwing the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Oh, now Breida loses it, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. He's at the 40. 20. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it's going to be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Tate. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
So the victory here for San Francisco.
And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Niners, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10.
watching? Hundreds. It's the coach. You're immersed in the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
On second down, it's Carson. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety.
Here's Wilson, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On the delay, here's Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
In the back, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
380. 56 the mic. 56 is the mic.
I got you. I got you, son. I got you.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's called in by Jamison Crowder. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking to go back to Stills. That'll bring up 2nd down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Wilson.
Here we go again.
Kill.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
Watch the run.
Under 10.
Wilson will throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
Intended for Tajay Sharp.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Tight end left. Even. 4 down. Even.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
All day,
4
baby.
yards
Let's
to
go.
pick up,
Let's
first
go.
down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
He'll have a first down past the 40. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got it.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Jack Rabbit.
They'll look to throw. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Let's go. Let's do this.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Rip right. Check three. Good.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
You ain't got nothing.
Now Wilson down around his goal line. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. So the previous play, a big help, is now 1st and 10 up at the 20. They run it with Carson. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 21 carries, 119 yards, and the score.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now, the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone in this one.
On second down now, it's Carson. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1.
Michael Dixon to punt for the Seahawks.
The punt team on now as this one's sent away.
The Niners take over.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
That's us. That's us.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. On first down, here's Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it. And the Seahawks have recovered.
No, possession's on. Possession's on.
Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Now it's Carson. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Wilson, and that is incomplete.
Wilson's pass intended for Jamison Crowder.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's right.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That's excellent.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look? And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. This is Breida. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
13-yard line.
Shit. Hopper. Whip. Watch the whip.
2nd and 4. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll set up a throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. It is the final weekend of the regular season, final day of the calendar year as well. A lot of action to update you on, so let's get right to it. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Ravens looking to finish strong to ensure their spot in the postseason. They'd get to 10-5 with a win. From there, we'll take the trip east to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. 2 touchdown passes there for Jimmy Garoppolo. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. A 3-touchdown differential in the end, 35-14, the final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had 3 points last time. But they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play the second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block them?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Yeah, that's right. Get behind him, pass and run.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack and score some points.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Come on, fellas.
7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Carson. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
To throw is Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit and try to get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Breida. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Rabbit.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
All day, baby, all day.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They run again with Breida, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st touchdown.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the fourth. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
On second down, it's Carson. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Fielded just inside the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness. Put up a number, let's say 200 plus.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. That is caught. It's Dante Pettis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards. 1st down, Niners. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st down in field goal range already. They run with Breida. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Mike, 56, right there, 56.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now back to throw. That'll be complete to Breida. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Oh, yeah!
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And Lutz's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. We still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but a second field goal now makes it a 6-3 score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would call this the definition of winning ugly. To me, this is gorgeous. I'm a defender, right? I love these kind of games. The tension is high. Who's going to make the play to win it? And right now, that field goal may be the advantage they need.
So Wilson and the Seahawks down 6-3. A little over a minute to go. A chance to end this season with a bang as they come up with a 1st and 10. Short throw to Disley. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
To Will Disley. He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
I'm coming after you.
Throwing now is Wilson. It's complete. Stills. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. He'll look to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the slant.
Wilson to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th.
Automatic
Hard to
first
believe.
down.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. Now it's Breida. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Let's go, baby.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Watch 54. Hey, come on.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
First down.
50 seconds to Mike.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
That will give to Breida. He's got the first down inside the 10. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the 49ers, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Seattle, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. That'll do it.